Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Duo's Corner. I am DJ, your co-host, and this is my thoughts on last night's SmackDown. Amazing show. I thought I was back in the early 2000s watching this show last night. This is the direction that it needs to go. Hashtag make mid-card titles relevant again. Hashtag make tag team wrestling relevant again. There was a lot of good things on this show. Cena is on fire. Cena is the best thing to happen. And this is a good thing how Cena is moving with the world title. Because Cena's Cena. He's made man, dude. It don't matter. Cena's going to be interested. Whoever takes that title off him, whoever they give it to, made man. On Raw, Jey Uso is transitional. It is what it is. He's just a pop for the fans. I love Jey Uso, but it's like he's not. No. Now that I see what they're doing, Becky Lynch and Valkyria, now I see what's going on. Like I said, sometimes you got to marinate on some shit. Okay, cool. We're gonna fucking feud her with Becky. Make that. Valkyria is already a beast. But having Becky kind of sniff her nose and look at that, it makes that title relevant. Now on Raw, they got to get the tag team shit together. But SmackDown tag team division, cooking. These guys put on a match that should have been on a WrestleMania card, 100%. And I felt like those guys wanted to show them that they were worth WrestleMania. DIY, Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, goddamn. You can't even do a play-by-play. Go watch the fucking match. Period. Montez Ford got a little taunt, everybody getting behind. Watch out, Jey Uso. But I'm glad that they are elevating all three of these teams because they're absolutely amazing. SmackDown needs to be that show like it was that put them over back in the day. That should be your young, fast talent. That should be what wrestling is wrestling. That should be where it's at. They gave the match time. And these guys for like live television took some sick ass spots. I mean, they put it on the line. The crowd was into it from start to finish. It was at one point in the match, anybody could have ran up there and grabbed the titles and you wouldn't have felt bad. Obviously, Street Profits retained, which was great. But everybody looked it good. And that's like one of the things that I feel in all wrestling, they've been struggling to do. It's like, even in defeat, your opponent should look good. And even if you leave, you should look good. And I feel like they're kind of getting back to that. And it's seeming that obviously the Liv and Raquel on Raw getting the belts, that was just a plot device to turn Becky heel because they're not doing no automatic rematches no more, which is I thought was the case because Tiffy came out there, had a decent match with Jade. Like, Jade, and everybody gets upset when I say things like this. Jade is a phenomenon. She's an Amazon. She's beautiful. She's amazing. But there's always things to work on. Like I say, even in my profession, in my job, we all have little things to work on. I don't mean that you're bad, but it's things you could work on. And then one of the things I've noticed is, she kind of got to get the cardio going. And I understand she really just got back and she got to get the, breath down. But there's little tweaks and things she can work on. There's tweaks and things Tiffy could work on. But they had a real good match. I'm glad that they're continuing the Naomi feud. I feel like there's still a lot to do there. And now that Bianca's back on SmackDown and she's kind of out of the Raw shit, now she can kind of play a role into that. I feel like that still have a lot more teeth. We could find out, as I said months ago, that maybe Bianca was the trigger. Hey, I need you to go do that for me. All right, I'll take care of you on the back end. I would love to see a heel Bianca, which I feel like they were teasing during this WrestleMania build, possibly. I think a heel Bianca Belair be lit because that will be the perfect person for Jade to go at. And maybe we can figure out a way to have a heel Bianca Belair, win the Money in the Bank, and cash it on Tiffany. And then we find out that Bianca was Bianca was like the trigger person to pull Naomi. And then SummerSlam, you can have heel Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill, which I feel would be fucking money. That was great. As I mentioned, we had a promo between Cena and Orton. This is like nostalgia 101. The guys are they're so comfortable with each other. Cena fucking arguing with a 6-year-old kid was hilarious. They were going back and forth. There was promos being cut on both sides. The kid flipped off Cena, which was great. It was just good. And it's kind of funny to see that, my girl made a beautiful point. She's like, it's funny that now Cena's the heel. Cena's the heel now. And Orton is the baby face and the voice of reason. It's just funny how life kind of do the full circle type of deal. That was absolutely hilarious and amazing. This version of Cena, just bitter and dropping knowledge and dropping facts, is just amazing. It's like I didn't necessarily know how when they flipped him heel, what direction he was going to go. Was he going to kind of just spit facts and straddle the fence, or was he going to go all into it? He's all into it now. The facials, the emphasis on certain words, I don't really give a fuck attitude, but I'm still hitting you with facts. I'm not really saying nothing you didn't do. It's just Cena is right now amazing. He's probably the best thing for wrestling. I know he said he's going to ruin it, and he's ruining it. No, he's really making it really great again. Zelina Vega finally wins the women's United States title, I believe, on SmackDown, which was great because this has been a very underlying story that's been happening on SmackDown. Really haven't got a lot of touches and looks on, but Zelina Vega has been amazing over the last couple years, and she's gotten over, she's gotten better, she's just good. And this was a nice feel-good moment on SmackDown to see her win. And we got to start pushing these. You got all these titles. And I'm a fan of titles, but don't just give a title and don't make it important. Don't make it relevant. Titles should be displayed on pay-per-views because it means something, And, it also, what it does is if you see Zelina Vega have a legitimate, successful United States women's title run, you get used to her having a belt. You get used to her with pristine. So if she's in a women's title match or a tournament, it makes it be like, okay, hell yeah, she belongs there. Yeah, put her up in there. It's perception. Like Chelsea Green, if she wanted to start fucking with Tiffany Stratton, she could do that. She had the United States title for a minute. And we used to her with an entourage. She's about the same build. It's like, make these credible. My biggest problem, and I feel like a lot of people's biggest problem with Jey Uso, was the fact that it just didn't look believable. We didn't say Jey can't be a champion or Jey should be there, but it's like Gunther is a goddamn monster. And Jey is just, he's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He's the yeeting. Like, if you go back and look at old Gunther, he's always been a dog. He's always been that dude. Jey was the tag team, always, goofy and dancing. Gunther didn't do none of that shit. He was just whooping ass. That's all he's been. Perception. And real side note, speaking of Gunther, so after what he did to Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, he just suspended indefinitely, and they fined him for the undisclosed amount. So, okay. So Gunther just better take a break, I guess. So when is he gonna come back? It's like lazy booking. Like they could have did a better job with that, but whatever. But I guarantee you he'll be back by fucking Backlash. Anyway. Aleister Black. Aleister Black is back. He looks fucking phenomenal. He looks amazing. The possibilities are endless for this guy. Of course, they when I saw The Miz, I said, okay, he's going to probably come out in this segment. You know, The Miz is just The Miz. He's awesome. He's collecting his check, doing what he needs to do. This guy is probably the most, besides R-Truth, probably the most highest paid just jobber that there is right now. But he understands his role, and he does it very well. Aleister Black being back there, so many things that you can do. So many. An Aleister Black Jacob Fatu rivalry would be great. And I love Jacob Fatu. I love how they're making that United States title relevant again. This is a credible guy. That's a problem, and you having all these people out there wanting to get their hands on it. I love the fact that Drew McIntyre say, I want some of that. I love LA Knight want his rematch back. Don't forget about Solo Sikoa. There's a lot of bodies out there that want that title. And I say you add Aleister Black in the middle of that. And you have Jacob Fatu have a really, and I'm talking like a good run with that title. Let that motherfucker have it about 6-7 months and just be dominant and putting on bangers. And then eventually you can have Solo be that final boss. I think that'll be good. All those wrestlers there that was involved in that borough are good wrestlers and good pieces to start making these mid-card titles relevant. This is what you do. The TV, I always felt like TV should be the showcase of the mid-card titles, and that was one of the things they did really good back in the day. Not saying it has to be a title match every show, but you show the mid-card, because the main eventers are the main eventers. They can come up there and cut a 10-minute promo, some shit backstage and some shenanigans, and then they good. They don't really need all that time. They just need enough time to let you know that this is what they're doing. Here's their agenda, blah, 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 blah. They're going to get there, do their match and stuff like that, and they're good. But how SmackDown was really structured last night, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If they keep that formula and don't change it, keep that formula. You can have your champion or your super main eventers come out in seg one, have them do what they need to do. Maybe have them have a little skit where they're walking something backstage like they did, and that's it. They're the fucking champion. They're the main event. Cool. And then the rest of the show, you build around the rest of your mid-card. Or your women's division. You build around there. You guys have, I think, 2 to 3 hours? You could do it. That should truly be the format. And have your main event match showcase the story of the mid-cards that you want, that's important, that needs to help. The tag team division on SmackDown needed to be fucking rehabbed. And it did, and it was. The Motor City Machine Guns was coming out to no fucking pop. Nobody gave a fuck. DIY was just there. You got Ciampa that got rid of the beard. People was like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? But at the end of that goddamn match, that audience, that fans, everybody was watching. You knew every motherfucker that was involved in that match. It was absolutely phenomenal. Amazing. Beautifully choreographed. They took a lot of risks that I didn't think they were going to take on live television, but they did. It was believable. It worked. It was great. That's the format. That is what you do going forward. So, guys, I just had to jump in, give my 2 cents on that. Enjoy your Saturday. In Chicago, it looked like winter made a comeback. But other than that, we're going to have a good day and get this day started. Peace.